If you've just built a website or just started using WordPress, the dashboard inside WordPress can feel daunting and overwhelming. So let me simplify the dashboard for you in the next 15 minutes so you can start using WordPress to its full potential. So this is the admin area of my WordPress website, and you can see there's so many things here and complicated things, and your website's dashboard might look similar or completely different depending on the plugins you've installed, depending on everything else. So if you see things different on the login page when you log in, then don't worry. And if you see the colors of everything else also different, don't worry, that's completely normal. You can customize this inside WordPress. So we'll talk about three important things here. The first thing we'll talk about is the dashboard itself, which you see on the screen. This is the dashboard of your WordPress website. Then I'll talk about the admin bar as well, which you can see here. And even if you go to the main homepage or any page on your site, which is the, let's say, how visitors will perceive your website, then you see this also appears here, or the admin bar appears here. So it's important to understand what we can do. And then we look at the main actual navigation menu inside WordPress, which is the most important part to understand. That's on the left-hand side here. And you'll see plenty of options here. And depending on the plugins you install, you'll see different menu entries here as well. Let's start with the obvious one, which is right in front of us, which is the dashboard. What is the dashboard? It says what it says. It's the dashboard. It gives you information. Similar to how your car's dashboard gives you information about how much fuel you have, what speed are you driving, how much you have driven, and other things like tire pressure or something else, the dashboard inside WordPress attempts to give you all the important data right up front. So you can see here, there's some plugins that need setup. You can see it here. What are the important WordPress events that are happening? You can see them here. What's the current activity that's happened on the website or recent activity? You can see it here. What are the current number of posts and comments and pages on the site? You can see it here. And plenty of other things you can discover here. Now, as I said, depending on the plugins you will have installed, the dashboard entries might look different. Since I have WP Mail SMTP, All-in-One SEO, Duplicator, Monster Insights, WP Forms, all installed, my dashboard looks different. You might see more or less entries here. That's completely all right. And depending on how you like to see your dashboard, you can customize this as well, regardless of the plugins you install, because you can enable or disable any of these options. To do that, you have to go into the screen options here. And once you open them up, you'll see a lot of different options. And they are mostly from the plugins that you've installed. For example, if you would like to see the welcome screen when you install WordPress or you install upgrade to the latest version, you can click that and you'll see that as well. And if you don't like that, and you can disable any other options as well. So for example, I don't want to see WP consent setup. I can disable that, disable that, disable that. And I can disable practically every single option here just to see if I can do, or I can keep it completely different and empty like this as well. So if you like a clean entry to start your day when you log into your site, you can achieve that. And if you like a busy dashboard, that's achievable as well. So that's the dashboard view. Let's talk about the actual WordPress menu or the navigation menu. So as the name suggests, the navigation menu is a menu entry inside WordPress admin area, which has the links to every single page or every single control that you would want to have in WordPress. It's on the left hand side of the screen, and there are plenty of entries here. And I've clarified multiple times because it can be confusing that depending on the plugins you have installed, I'll explain what plugins are, you might see more or less entries. For example, you see All-in-One SEO, code snippets, WP consent, WP Mail SMTP, Lightspeed Cache, Insights, Duplicator. All these are coming from plugins. So these will not be part, or they might be part of your setup when you get WordPress setup, or they might not be part of your setup as well. So you don't have to worry about the plugin entries. The core things that are inside every WordPress dashboard is the first important things you need to learn. So what are those? That's first the dashboard, which we already saw. So we can go into the dashboard always by clicking the dashboard entry, and you'll reach the dashboard. The next important thing is posts and pages. That's how you create content on your site. You create either posts or pages. For example, whenever you say, hey, I think I need to publish a blog post on my website. So that's what you're referring to, a blog post. So you can go into the post section here, and once you hover over them, if a menu has sub entries, they also show up here. So example, you can see here, inside the post, we have all posts, add post, categories, and tags. So if you want to see all the posts that are published on your site, you can click all posts, and it'll take you to the all posts page, and you can see all the different posts that are pasted or created on the site. And we can go and create a new post as well. Let me show you the categories options first. If you have categories built up on the site, then you will see the categories here. If you want to create new categories to organize your posts better, This is where you can come inside and create new categories. You can see I have an uncategorized category, which is a default category, and one created for design as well. So this is how, or this is where you do it. And if you want to add new post on your site, you can go into the add post section here, which will trigger the post creation screen or the block builder where we can create a new post on our site. And this is the default post builder. This is how it looks like. This is not a post builder or block builder tutorial. So I'll just give you an example. This is where you write the title, and this is where you write the actual content and add blocks if you want to. If you want to publish your post, you can always publish your post. And if you want to go back to the WordPress menu that I'd explained, all I have to do is scroll to the left top corner. And right now you see it's a little different because I have a site logo uploaded, but you might see the WordPress icon here by default or most of the times. And you can click here and it'll take you back to the WordPress post menu. Since I've not saved this, I'll just click the leave button here and go back to the post menu. So this is how you understand and navigate posts, add posts, or modify posts. Inside the post section, you have the option of editing any of the existing posts. Quick editing allows you to change some basic settings like titles and slugs and even publish dates. And you can always trash and view the posts itself. So if you want to see how this post like on the main website, just right click, open and click the view button, and it'll take you to the actual post on how it looks like. So inside the post menu, this is what you are able to do. You can create new posts, see all posts, or perform operations on those posts that are already published on your site. Similarly, you can do the same thing for pages as well. Now, there's a difference between posts and pages. Posts are usually referred to blog posts, but pages can be static pages that don't change often. For example, privacy policy, about us page, or terms and conditions page. Usually pages are reserved for this, landing pages. So whenever you have the terminology or when you are speaking in the language, you can kind of differentiate that what kind of post or page will you create for that. So when you say, hey, I want to create a landing page, most likely you'll create a page. If you want to create the terms and services page, you'll create a page. But when you publish blog posts, you'll publish blog posts on your site. So the pages menu is very similar. Let's head into that. So pages don't usually have categories, so you won't see category options here. So you can go into the pages section, and inside you will see all the pages, and you can of course go and add a new page as well. With regards to the operations on the pages, they're the same. So you can edit them, quick edit them, trash them, or view them. And you can also do bulk operations on pages and posts as well. So if you want to bulk make changes, you can click this, select all the pages or posts you want to affect, and then go into the bulk options. In this case, you can edit and move to them trash and do other things. You also have search and filtering options similar to how I explained in the post section. You can do that. And if you want to see more or less data inside the pages or posts menu or in the page, you can just go to the screen options and change what you like. So if you want to see more pages or posts on a single page, change this. You can have extended view. So in this case, you'll see a different set of data here. And if you don't want to see or want to see some additional details like author, comments, date, or all in one SEO details, in this case, then you can enable or disable that. So you have control over what data you see inside the pages and post section. Let's talk about the media now. You can go to your media library by just looking at the navigation menu in WordPress and heading over to media. Usually it's between posts and pages, so you can see media here. And if I hover over it, you'll see three different options: library, add media file, and bulk optimize. Bulk optimize is coming from a plugin, so most websites won't have it unless you have installed a bulk optimization or image optimization plugin. You'll see the library and add media file. So if I click the library button, it'll take us to the WordPress media library for your website and show you all the media items you have uploaded, which can be images or PDF files, and you can see them here. And if you want to upload new media, you can always come here. But usually the workflow is quite different if you're publishing posts or if the media is supposed to go on a specific post. So of course, you can click the add media file and drag and drop them here, let the media upload, then use them inside your post. But the easier way is to just use the image block on the post itself when you're creating it and then upload it. And I'll still go through the same process of opening the media library. Let me give an example. So if you go to the hello world here, and let's say I want to add an image on my website here. So I'll just type in image, which will allow us to add an image block. So if I add an image block, now you see I can upload it or go to my media library or insert by URL. So if now I click upload, then it'll allow me to upload an image directly from my computer. If I go to the media library, it'll open the media library once again, and I can just drag and drop images or media right here, or just go to the upload section here. So whatever workflow you prefer to upload media on your site, you can choose that. If you like this method, that's completely fine. If you like this method by going into the media library, then you can do that as well. All right, that's the media. Let's talk about themes now. So probably now you've guessed how to reach the theme section from the WordPress menu. But you might notice there's no entry for themes on the left-hand side menu because all the section or all the settings or even the ability to add themes, the menu entry is not called themes, it's called appearance. So you can see here appearance, and you can see theme and editor. We'll go to the themes first, and this allows us to see all the themes that are currently available to use on our website. You can also call them installed themes. Right now, you see the 2025 theme is active. You can see it here. And we have some other themes available as well. We have the 2024 theme, we have the 2023 theme. And if you click on them, you can see a preview of them, what the theme is. And if your theme is not currently active, you can either activate it, and if you want to delete them, and then you can delete the theme as well. Do keep in mind the current active theme cannot be deleted unless you activate another theme. So if I go to the 2025 theme here, I cannot delete it, I can customize it. I'll explain what customize is later. But if you want to add new themes, what do you do? Where do you change the look of your website? Well, this is exactly where you do it. You can see here, you have two options to click the add theme button. You can see the add theme button here, or you can click the much bigger button here. Let me show you how to install a theme. So if you click this button, and what you see here is the WordPress repository. WordPress offers a collection of themes and plugins you can install on your site, and many likely or most of them are free as well. Some do offer commercial features as pro features, so you can check them out when you install a theme. How do you search for a theme? How to install a theme? Let me quickly give an example. Let's say we want to install a beautiful theme called the Sydney theme. So you can just go to the search option here and search for it. So I'll just type in Sydney. I made a spelling mistake. Let me fix that. And we'll find the theme that we're looking for. Sydney theme is a fantastic theme. I'll leave a link down in the description to the theme and the website, so you can go check it out if you like the theme. And we can go into and click the details and preview button if you want to check out how the themes look like. So this will give you kind of a live preview. Now, don't go at the live preview always, because you can always customize the look of the theme. You can see a difference here that the page or the website looks different here. And depending on the website settings you have currently, this might be a discrepancy, but you can always do it here. So let's install the Sydney theme now. And all you have to do is click the install button here, or just go back and you can see if you hover over it, you have an install button here as well. Let's click install. And that's how easy a theme is to install. Now, if you install a theme, doesn't mean you also have to activate it instantly. But if you'd like to, all you have to do is hover over the activate button. But if you want to check out all the themes you installed and then activate it, you can always go back, click here on the theme section, which will bring you back to the theme section. And now you can see that the Sydney theme is here, and we can choose between whichever theme we want to activate. So I'll install, because the theme is already installed. Let's activate the Sydney theme on the site. And the theme is now installed. That's how easy it is. Let's talk about plugins now. Similar to themes, plugins can be found in the WordPress menu entry, and the difference is that they are actually called plugins on the WordPress menu. So it's much easier to find. So we'll head to plugins here, and you can see here similar options: install plugins and add new plugin. So if I click install plugins, this will give you a list of all the plugins you have already installed on your site, or the hosting provider of choice might have installed on your site. So if you see a bunch of plugins here, don't need to panic that, hey, I didn't install any of these plugins. When you set up WordPress, many hosting providers recommend or install some recommended plugins, and that's completely fine. So you can see here, I have All-in-One SEO installed, I have Duplicator installed, I have EWWW Image Optimizer installed, I have Monster Insights installed. Some plugins are from Hostinger, which is this website on. So you can see Hostinger AI, Hostinger onboarding tools, some caching plugins, and then WP Mail SMTP, WP Code Lite, WP Consent, and WP Forms Lite. If you have any pending plugin updates, you'll most likely see a notice just next to the plugin that, hey, an update is available, and you'll have an update button or a link there. When you click on it, then the plugin will be instantly updated as well. So that's how easy it is to update plugins if you'd like to, right from the plugin section. Now, the next common question that you might ask is, how do I install plugins on my site? That's pretty easy too. So we can scroll to the top of this page and you'll see the add plugin button here. And of course, you can use the menu entry to go here called add plugin. I'll click here. And similar to how this triggered the theme repository when we were looking at themes, when we click here, the plugin repository will be triggered or open. And similar to themes, there's a lot of collection of free plugins you can use, and some are commercial or offer commercial features or commercial support with a pro version. Let me give an example on how to install a plugin. So let's say, for example, I'm trying to collect more leads on my site. And one of the best plugins for that, or one of the best services for that, is Opt-in Monster. So I want to connect the Opt-in Monster or install the Opt-in Monster plugin. So all I'll do is just click here, type in Opt-in Monster, the entire name. And now we can see Opt-in Monster plugin show up. And you can see here Pop-up Builder and Pop-up Maker, Opt-in Monster. Now, if I want to install this plugin, all I have to do is click the Install Now button, and the plugin is installed. Similar to how plugins or themes needed to be activated, you might need to activate, or you will need to activate the plugin if you want to use it on your site. Now, compared to themes, you can have multiple plugins installed and activated at the same time. So don't worry about, hey, I already have 3 plugins installed. You can always activate more plugins. So let me activate this as well. The plugin is now activated. Now, one big difference that you might need to remember is that when you go into the Add Plugins option, sometimes if you purchase premium plugins, for example, you want to have regular backups on your site, so you upgrade to Duplicator Pro so that you can get cloud backups and other scheduling options. So in that case, the plugin provider will not give you, or you will not find the plugin file in the repository, but they'll give you a zip file that you need to download from your computer or download to your computer through inside their account on the website. So how do you install that zip file or that zip plugin? That's also very easy. All you have to do is, instead of searching for the plugin here, all you have to do is click this button called Upload Plugin. And this will open up a zip option here. You can drag and drop the zip file. You don't need to extract it. Just drag it here and then click Install Now, and then the plugin will also be installed. So that's how easy it is to install plugins that you've downloaded or any premium version plugins that you've purchased, because most likely than not, you will find them or they'll be delivered to you in a zip format. So I hope you're enjoying it and learning a lot. There are 2 more important sections I want to cover inside the WordPress dashboard. The first is called Users, and it's very easy to find. It's because it's called Users right here. So let's head to Users, and inside Users, you have a lot of different options. All Users, Add User, Profile, and Author SEO. Author SEO is added by All-in-One SEO. So it's not a default thing. If you don't have All-in-One SEO installed, you won't see this. Let's click All Users for now. So similar to how we have installed theme and plugin, you can have multiple users on your site. Sometimes you might have multiple administrators, multiple writers, multiple people managing your site. And sometimes people might just subscribe to your website to access content. For example, if you create a forum, people might need to register before they can leave a comment or consume the content on your site, like a course. In that case, all the users you have on your site will show up here. Right now, there's only one user on the site, which is me, and that's what you see here. I'll blur out my email, but this is basically what you can do. You can edit the profile, view the person, or view the author page, or check out some other information about them. For example, how many posts they have published on the site. Similar to how pages and posts, you can also do bulk actions right here. You can also change roles. WordPress offers roles. For example, you might have a role called subscriber. You might have a role called editor, administrator, similar to that. So that's what you do here. And if you head to the profile section in the menu, this will show up the profile of the current logged in user, which is me. In that case, it would be you. So this is your current profile. So remember, in the beginning of the video, I said, don't worry about the different colors of WordPress. This is exactly where you can change it if you like. My favorite color is purple, so I just chose the ectoplasm theme. But the default theme is this, the default theme. So let's switch to that. And now you might be familiar with this interface that, hey, this is how WordPress usually looks. But you can go into and change your default theme inside WordPress here. And of course, you have other options here. You can change author names, first name, last name, nicknames. So if I scroll down on the page like this, you can see a lot of more details. So you can see the nickname, what you see here, email, which I'll blur out, the website address, some small biography or about us, add a profile picture, and even I can change my password. And if you want to do this for other users on your site, you'll have to add a user first. So you just have to go into the Add User menu here. And when you go into Add User, you will be able to add a new user, create an account for them, and create a password for them. And then if you want to manage them, then you can go back to the profile section or all user section and edit their profiles. So that's how you do it. That's how you add users and edit users on your website. Let's talk about the last section. The last section I want to talk about is the Tools section. Most likely you will not need to touch this section, but you should be aware about it for some important reasons. So of course, it's called tools on the left-hand menu. If you hover over tools, you'll see available tools, import, export, site health, export personal data, redirection manager, and something else. Now, sometimes some plugins which actually act as tools on the site might add their menu entry here. For example, you can see the EWWW image optimizer has its menu entry here. So you won't find it, the plugins enter here, but find it inside the tools section. So sometimes you might be wondering, I just installed this plugin. Where is the setting? Look for it inside the tools. That's more likely here. And of course, you have some other options here as well. So if you go into available tools, you might find some important things about or some important available tools that you can use on your site. So the only tool right now is a categories and tags converter. So it's not very important. So I'll skip to the next important section, which is the site health. Now, site health is very important for many reasons. Sometimes you have troubles on your site. Sometimes you are trying to do something and it doesn't work. You connect with support of a plugin or hosting provider. Most likely they'll find or they'll ask for information about your site. And the site health is important for another reason as well. It can give you a simple overview of what your website's current health status is with respect to security, with respect to something else, plugin updates, everything. So you can see that status here. So you can check it out here occasionally and see if there's critical things that you should update on your site. And sometimes when, as I mentioned, a support team might ask for critical information about, hey, what is your tech status or what is the server status? Then you can always go into the info section here and find all the information about your website. And you can just copy and paste that information and share that with the appropriate team so that they can figure out what's causing this particular issue if you're facing an issue. And you can see here, if you click on WordPress, what's the WordPress version, what's the directory and sizes, what's the active theme. All this information can be useful if you're trying to diagnose issues on your website or trying to help someone diagnose issues on your site. So after tools, there's one more important section I want to cover, which is settings. Now, you know what settings are for? Settings are for settings. So let's go into the settings here and we'll see a lot of different options inside settings. So there are general settings, writing settings, reading settings, discussion, media, permalinks, all these settings. Now, settings here are mostly about how your website behaves from a technical perspective. So if you go into the general settings, you might find a different set of settings here. So you can change the site title, tagline, add a new icon, what's the administrator address, and all these different things. I've covered this in an extensive live stream about how to configure essential settings. So I'll link that in the description if you want a deep dive on how to actually configure essential settings. Going into the writing sections is of course about writing, what you need to configure with respect to writing. So you don't usually have to touch this if you're just publishing blog posts directly on your site. The reading settings are important if you want to configure home page differently. So you can see here, you have options to choose between two homepage formats, either a static page or latest post and some other settings. The discussion settings is for comments if you want to configure how comments show up. So there are plenty of settings you can configure. The media settings are usually set by the theme and how the media should be formatted on your site. The permalink settings is important on how permalinks are set up on your site. You can see here, right now the setting is post name. And there's some other settings as well, which you can explore, are not critical to explain understanding the dashboard. The last thing we need to understand for WordPress setting is the plugins settings themselves. As I mentioned, most plugins, when you install them, will create a menu entry on the left. So you can see Opt-in Monster. If I hover over it, it will have their own set of settings. So you can see Opt-in Monster has the settings, WP Forms have their own set of settings. And if I scroll down to All-in-One SEO, it has its own set of settings. Code Snippets, which is WP Code, has its own set of settings. WP Consent has its settings, and WP Mail SMTP. And similarly, other plugins have their own set of settings as well. So if you want to explore the plugins, how to configure them, then you need to go inside the plugin setting to explore how to configure them or some essential things that you want to work with them. Hey, editing Yuvraj here. So while editing this video, I realized that I completely missed out on sharing the admin bar's information. So I'm interjecting this segment right here to explain what the admin bar does. So let's head to my screen. So of course, you can see the admin bar here. I'm on the front end of the website. So this is the view for users and for you as well. Now, of course, your users will not see this. Only registered users who can register or are registered and logged into your site will see a version of the admin bar. And you can see the admin bar inside the dashboard or inside the admin area as well. So what is the admin areas or what does the admin bar actually do? It's just a collection of shortcuts that gives you easy access to certain links. Like you have shortcuts on your Windows desktop or your Mac. Similarly, you have some easy to access controls here on the admin bar. And if you want to turn this off, you have the option to do so. So if you go to the profile section, so this is currently I'm logged into my profile. If I scroll down, we should find a link here which says toolbar, show toolbar when viewing site. And if you turn this off, then the admin bar will start showing up. So that's the easy way to turn it off, but I'd recommend you turn it on. So basically, if you have other registered users on the site, they can turn it off for themselves as well. So here's what it has. So if you go to the front page of the site, the admin bar usually remains the same. It has a lot of different links to quick ways to access certain areas. So for example, if I go here, you can see that it shows my name. I can directly go to my profile. I can log out of my website and I can search for something by clicking the search bar. I can edit the current homepage by clicking here. And some entries are added by certain plugins. So this entry is added by All-in-One SEO. So you can see the notifications from All-in-One SEO, SEO preview, analyze page, and some other quick access settings here. You also have WP forms. You can see all the entries or similar entries here that you can do quick ways to access links inside WP forms. And some hosting has some links as well, because this is the hosting provider I'm using. So your hosting provider might or might not add this. Then you have insights from Monster Insights, WP Code, then some caching plugin. So this, for example, this website is using, I think, Lightspeed Cache. So this is how it's showing up. Then you have some native shortcuts that are coming from WordPress. So this edit page is coming from WordPress. If you click this button, it'll open this page in the editor. So you can actually edit this page. Then you can add new pages, posts using the new option. And you can see comments here. So if you have any unresponded to comments, you'll see it here. And updates. So if you have plugin updates, theme updates, or WordPress core updates, you'll see a number here with the total number of anything that's available. So it can be a combination of all three things I mentioned. And you have the customize option. So if you click on this, it'll open the customizer. And then you have some basic links. So if you go here, you can directly go to the dashboard, the plugins, the theme section, and widgets and menus. If you just go to the extreme left, you will see some WordPress related settings about WordPress. If you want to get involved in the WordPress project, contribute to open source, and some other essential links. So if you go back to the admin area here, you'll see very similar links here. It's exactly the same. Maybe a couple of things change when you go to the homepage. For example, edit page and some other related settings show up, but otherwise, most of the admin area is same. And once again, it's just a collection of shortcuts that allow you to get or just give you ease of access to certain areas of your website, which would be just maybe a couple of menu entries away. All right, back to the video. That's it. That's how easy it is to use WordPress. That's what the dashboard is for and the admin area is for. If you still have any questions about, hey, I couldn't understand or follow this about WordPress admin area, please leave a comment. And if you like videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video and share it with someone. You're watching Yuvraj from Double Beginner. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.